Welcome back to an Ashe Design training video on using our new word art stamps. I'm going to show you two ways to use the same word art stamp in different ways depending on how you want to do it, and they're both very easy. So I've just opened the To the World PNG file, and I'm just going to drag it across first over to this family picture that I have, and you're going to see that it's really large because my image is sized for the web, and the PNG art for the word stamp is size for print, so it's really large. So the first thing I'm going to do is edit the size. So I'm going to go to edit and then choose free transform or Apple T, and I'm just going to make this like 30%, something to get it on the page. And then once I do that, I'm going to hold my shift key down and I'm going to drag it. Make sure you hold your shift key down because you don't want it to get out of proportion, something like this. Or if you feel like you have gotten it out of proportion, you didn't have your shift key, you just come up here and click this little icon that says maintain aspect ratio, and that'll get you right back in. Hold your shift key and size it to how you want. Press return. That's going to set my image there, and from here you can play with it. You can add some shadows to it. I've done that in another video, but I was just going to show you right up here. You can come and you can do an overlay or a soft light, and then it kind of, oops, that's the hard light, or the soft light, and it just kind of puts it into those clouds, and that was just a look that I really liked, and so I thought I'd take a minute to show you that. If you want to see some more effects that you can apply to the PNG word stamp files, I'll point you over to the video for that in just a minute. But right now what I'm going to do is just go ahead and delete that layer over here so I can show you how to make this word art into a brush. So all you need to do is open up your file, make sure it has the transparent background, and only the stuff that you want to be in your brush is right here. And then you're just going to come up and go edit and define brush preset, and then you can name this whatever you want. I'm going to keep it to the world and press OK. And then I'm going to come right back over to my image right here, and I'm going to select my brush tool from my palette, and then you're just going to need to find that brush, which I already had selected. So you can see again it's really big, so you can slide it down right here and you can just get it to where it fits right where you want. Now the cool thing about this is you can change your colors right over here in your color palette. You know, you can make it hot pink one time and you can make it black another time, and you're just using your brush. Before I stamp that brush right on there, I want to come over here and I want to create a new layer. And I'll show you why I do this in just a second. So I'm going to use my hot pink here for just a second, and I'm going to stamp it on there. And because it's on another layer, when I come get my tool here, I can still move it around. And that's one of the things I really like, because if you stamp it and you're just a tiny bit off, you know, you'd have to undo that and redo it and move around. But if it's on a new layer, you can move it around. It kind of has its own properties, and you can make some adjustments to it. And you can use some of the same effects that we used before, like you can use the lighten or an overlay to kind of put it in there, and that made my hot pink not quite so crazy. I'm going to delete this layer one more time, and I'm just going to add in a new layer again. So I've got a layer that I'm working with. Make sure it's highlighted. I'm going to pick a softer color that goes with this a little more. Maybe I'll pick something like from her pants there. And then I'm just going to go get my brush one more time. Again, I could size it wherever I want. Here, I'll put this a little bit on his shirt so you can see how I can move it around. And then I'm going to get this tool and I'm going to move it right up here. Once I kind of get it where I want, the other thing I can do is, since I did it on another layer, is I can still transform it and I can change the size a little bit. Now one of the things I find sometimes when I bring these in this way as opposed to bringing across the PNG, it's a lot faster to just stamp it real quick when you have a brush, but sometimes I think they're not quite as sharp. So if you feel like it's not quite as sharp as you want it to be, you can just come up to, I think it's filter, sharpen, and I just do sharpen more, and it just makes it a little bit more crisp. And then I'm just going to soften this up with the opacity here. I'll just turn it down a little so it's not quite so heavy, maybe in there. And then you can just save this out as a JPEG and then post it online or print it at your favorite lab, and you're all set to go. We hope that you enjoyed this training video on using our new word stamps. One of the things I really like to plug about the word stamps is you get these fun fonts without having to go out and purchase fonts, because it's just an image and it's just a great way to quickly add a little something to your images or to even some of the templates that you have. We have some nice wedding quotes and different things that you can just stamp right in there, and it's just a nice little touch that you can add for your customers. So enjoy!